Everyone, and thank you for joining us for this episode. This is OneMicNite Talk. My name is Marcos Luis, and you are at the OneMicNite. We're doing a check-in episode, and as usual, as we're all getting ready to do the episode, the conversation starts, and it's always good. So you are joining the OneMicNite Talk already in session, so consider this kind of a bonus episode. Ashley and I are talking about ways to increase our wealth in the future with stocks and a quick lesson in crypto. Disclaimer, I am by no means an expert in this field, but I think you'll get some value out of this. So join us, and thank you for joining us for OneMicNite Talk. Already in progress. Okay. Yeah, you moved to New York.
I moved to New York in 2011, and I remember this guy I was on a date with. Awesome guy, but no connection. But he was such a I forget what he did, but he wasn't into finances. And he mentioned about Bitcoin. He was just like, you should invest in Bitcoin. And I didn't know anything about stocks and things like that. I just know about what my dad told me, Roth IRAs, and 401ks. And I was just like, and I remember one time I was going to do it. But when you first move to New York, you're broke. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you have a survivor mentality. And I just was like, in my mind, I was like, listen to the whispers. This is what I'm talking about. Listen to the whispers telling you what to do. My spirit was whispering, put $100 in, just 100, and that's it.
Right.
Didn't listen. Fast forward. You know what I looked up? Something told me to look up, if I put $100, how much would I be worth? Do you know I would have been worth like $5 million?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what my point is.
I could have got us a house.
And that's it. Everybody, it's the same thing because we didn't know. This is what I'm saying. Like we've touched on this before. This is what a lot, who they have the inside track on. And we're just...
Y'all ain't catch that. That's the new one.
Right.
They can't steal that.
Right.
Who?
Right. Well, you know who. But
yeah.
we didn't have the inside, track on that. Our parents didn't sit down and talk to us with the Wall Street Journal and tell us what, stocks was and in real estate and all that kind of stuff. So we don't know. That was like the unknown. That was like the internet. We didn't know about the internet either,
But that's just but even with you're saying, right, with those gems, it taught me a lesson of, not only did my parents not teach me those things, they also taught me to be too safe.
Yes.
And to be too comfortable.
Yes.
And to have a survivor mentality.
Right.
Because think about it, $100.
$100.
Even at the end of the day, I was already sacrificing. If I just would have sacrificed that, I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? That's what I could have just sacrificed.
Exactly.
And so it taught me a lesson of stop being in a scarcity mindset. Really stop that.
Yeah. Definitely. Exactly. So, we have to take risks. And the thing is what are we choosing to take risks on? So that something like that, what's $100?
What's $100?
And until you know what it is, it's the same thing with the stock market. Even the crypto and stock market are two different things, but it's the crypto is a lot more volatile.
Yeah, crypto I don't understand. I really want to learn about crypto and NFTs.
Right. So crypto is, I'm not the expert, but crypto is, it's a blockchain. So the blockchain means all the data of people selling and buying back and forth. So that's what builds it. Okay. So it goes, the blockchain goes up. So there's a cycle just like the stock market. The stock market has cycles when it goes down and people sell, people get scared. The thing about the stock market is you don't act on emotion. When you see the stock market go down, you don't people just panic and they start selling. You don't have to.
Okay, gotcha.
The first thing about stocks is that you have to, you choose something. The safe thing to do is to choose something that's been around for a long time. What are the 5 things that you use on a regular basis?
Oh, Johnson, all those
yes.
Colgate, okay.
Toothpaste,
those things.
Shoes.
Okay.
You go to say McDonald's. Those are the companies that everybody uses the same thing. So those are going to be around for a while. You invest in, one company is not doing so well right now is Ford, but that's an American staple.
Yeah, I looked at their stocks. I was like, good God.
Right. So
Ooh.
Ford is having a hard time. But, you want to think about what 6 months in the future is going to look like. That's what you're trying to project, because you want the trajectory to go up. So you don't want to buy in when it's, already up there, because it's going to go down. You want to project where the world is going. So say like, people are moving into the metaverse, people are moving into gaming and 3D and, that type of thing. So Web3, which is what we're in right now, that's what you should buy. Like there's stocks that are related.
You know your stuff.
I'm telling you.
I love that you know your stuff. You're like, well, Web3.
So you want to buy into things that are happening 6 months from now. So say 6 months from now, we're, I don't even know. Like the digital age, like what people are doing. Like you mentioned NFTs. NFTs are the same thing. It's art or something that you own the license to. You have to register it. You have to own the rights to something. You register it, and then you put it on the crypto blockchain, which we were just talking about. Oh. People go into the blockchain just like the stock market, and they invest in that. And then your artwork is going up, 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 up. So it's NFT stands for non-tangible.
So that means I never have it in my home.
Never have it
Let's
in
say
your home.
if I buy a painting, I will never have that in my home.
Unless the person who, you can go to a digital gallery and see it, but it's okay because you're accruing money on the art.
Yeah, but it's so sad.
But this is what some of the artists are doing though, is that they're offering.
Oh, they're making good money.
No, I don't mean just making money, but they're offering you also, like some people put together a package. They say, okay, this is the art that's going, but we're going to send you a poster of it also.
Oh,
or whatever's related to something else they're doing. So say one person is a massage therapist, we're going to give you the digital art, that you make money on, but we're also going to give you a 2-session package at our spa. Ooh, so you have something that's smart with it too.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good, right?
That's really good. But you know what? It does. You know what? Let me stop whining for a second of not having my art in my house. It does make sense if you're an art collector, because you can only have so much in your home, and if something happens to it, nothing ever happens to it. You don't have to worry about insurance costs and all those things, because it's all, like you said, it's on the web.
Right.
I love that.
Isn't that good? And it's an investment, and you're making money on it.
Ooh.
So the problem right now, though, is that the crypto and stock market is down. It's on a down cycle.
Okay.
But it will go back up, so you will make money.
Mm-hmm.
But people get scared, and you don't act on emotion.
No, this time I'm not scared. I use the app. I'm not sponsored, Robinhood, but you can sponsor this. You can sponsor. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I decided to I put $40 in this stock, or I do the fractional stocks when I'm really super high. Cause I'm not scared anymore, because I'm just like, Ashley, if you can buy let's say shoes or books or whatever, you can put this in a stock. You know what I mean? I'm no longer scared of things like that anymore.
Right.
If you lose, and that's it.
This is the whole thing. It's the mindset of where we are. What do we need Jordans for? No, nothing against Jordans. I buy Jordans, I got Jordans, but what do you really need? Like if I took that $200, that pair of Jordans, and put it in Nike stock today, what's going to happen next year? That $200 stock is how many pair of Jordans is going to buy me? Right?
So many Black people be super rich.
Yep.
Super rich.
Yep.
As much as you buy Jordans.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about how much money you spend on clothes and all this stuff. So what? I wear Old Navy. I put that money in a stock.
I know. Yeah. That's so right, because that's what I used to do too. When I first started, I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, wait a second. What do you wear? What makeup do you buy?
Right.
You know what I mean? Who has their stock? I just started looking at things, even the things I eat, okay, what's out there? I'm always using Crest or Colgate toothpaste. Toothpaste. You know what I mean? You're so right. You have to look at your things that you have around you, because those are the answers there.
Those are the answers. That's where you need to, take that money and put it somewhere else. And like I said, right now is the time to put that money in there, because the stock market cycle is down. 2 years from now, you will be a millionaire. If you put that extra money away, the cycle will be going up. There's some things that are unpredictable, like who knew we were going to have a pandemic to this proportion?
Right.
But still, people became millionaires during the pandemic. Because even when the stock market is down, there are other things you can invest in that slide your money that you still make money on.
Well, they do say, I've read that when there is a crisis or like a pandemic, that's when you get richer.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting when that happens. Because I was like, if I knew this was going to happen, because I wasn't in the stock market yet. I was in the stock market when the pandemic hit.
Right.
I mean, when it was like in the midst of it, I would have put in for Zoom a long time ago.
That's it. Yep. You think about what's happening, what's going to happen what does the world look like in 6 months?
Yeah.
What does it look like? Like put people, if Grubhub was on stock market, anybody who invested in Grubhub would have been a millionaire.
Exactly. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah, I definitely been more in tune, even to listening to millionaires. Like, I love Gary Vee. Mm-hmm. Like, he was talking about when he was offered to be one of the investors in Uber, but he was like, ain't nobody gonna do that. And he said that's his biggest failure, but his biggest like understanding that like you have to get on the wave of like what's newly to come.
What's coming.
Because he even said, he was like, people ain't doing da-da-da. And he was like, no, like that's why he says he's so hard on NFTs, because it's the new wave. Like you have to start getting out of like the old way of things and get into the new thing. And that's what I've been looking at too, like, okay, what's new coming out and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So I want to give a shout out too, because the person I listen to is Armando Pantoja, Tall Guy Tycoon. Everybody,
I think you sent me
to him. I send you his lives. This guy is, first of all, he gives away free information every Sunday on the live. So everybody hop on this live and learn about stocks and crypto. It's free information. And the problem we have is that we get this information, and like you said, Bitcoin, but we don't execute it.
Yeah, because we're scared. And like you just said, like, what's $100? We spend $100 easily.
Right. What's $100 to make you a millionaire in a year or two time? And I know, like, some people, you have responsibilities, like, I got to buy a new air conditioner, like I said, but how can I scrape some money together this week and put it on something that I think is going to happen in the future, 6 months from now?
But that's what we were talking about. It's all about changing and pivoting your mindset.
Exactly. Like,
just know at the end of the day, take it like it's insurance. Sit it there, let it sit. If it happens, if the great fire happens, it happens. If it doesn't, you're fine.
Right.
Because like I said, if I would have did it in 2011, when Bitcoin like jumped up, was it like 2018 or something? Mm-hmm. I would have been, like I said, I looked it up. I would have been like $5 million.
Right.
And could do so much with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, and it taught me a lesson, like, I will never be in a scarcity mindset ever again. I was like, never again.
And that's the thing is, when do we start? Like, now we're finding out information. It's okay. If you can't pay for a class with someone, go online, YouTube.
Everything's online.
Free.
Everything's online for free.
Listen, sign up for Jim Cramer. Watch CNBC News. Sit down and watch CNBC News all the time. And you'll learn. Jim Cramer has a free newsletter. He's like
I didn't know this.
Okay. Top of the stock market. Jim Cramer has a free newsletter that he sends you out, and he tells you what his moves are for the day. I'm going to sell this stock. I'm going to sell this stock, and I'm going to buy this, and this is why. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Guys, I'm going to sign it today.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know he had a newsletter.
We all need, and this is for, our culture. And I hate to say this, but it is for our culture, because we are stuck, like you said, in a traditional mind frame. Our parents, they were worried about helping us become better than they were. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to have a 9-to-5 job, but we don't have to. We need multiple sources of income. We can work our jobs, but we need multiple sources of income. Why not have a building that's giving you income? Why not have stocks that are giving you income while you do what you do?
Exactly.
Why not?
Because now the traditional way of sometimes when the crisis happens, especially if you live in New York or other places. I know New York was really damaging for people who own property,
right?
Because the laws are really for the tenants.
For
so
the
I know
tenants.
that was
Exactly.
like really hard.
Exactly.
Unless you were like a real deep pocketed millionaire and you were covering the cost. But even that tradition of making money, that even showed us like that's not sustainable.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you have to have multiple streams of different avenues of that.
And that's where they talk about having a portfolio.
Yeah, it's a portfolio.
You have a portfolio, a diverse portfolio. When this stock is down, this stock is high. So say, like we said, you have a portfolio, you have real estate in here, which is not doing well. Real estate is down. You have Grubhub, you have Zoom, because you're balanced. Or you have pharmaceuticals, where you have Pfizer, you have Moderna. Those stocks were high.
Yep.
So you have the balance in there to so you're constantly getting income.
Real talk.
That's it. That is exactly it.
Yo, you spitting real talk.
Right. And I don't, like I said, I'm not the expert. I take this, Sunday free class. I get online and I learn and I talk to people. The other thing that he recommends is that we surround ourselves with people who have the knowledge. Like if I have knowledge, I'm going to share it with you, Ashley, because I want you to succeed. I want you to win. I'm not here to go for myself. I want everybody to win.
But that's why we need to talk to our friends instead of talking about, because I always tell people, especially like associates I meet and stuff, stop talking about like all, like, how you talk about like even trivial things or depressing things or whatever. Start talking to your friends about financial stuff. You never know that what information they know, or you never know where it's like, maybe the reason why y'all talk about trivial things or depressing things is because you need money, and maybe what y'all need to do is come together and be like, hey, let's both like start investing in, like being accountable.
Why wouldn't you? Why would you're stronger
but
together?
A lot of us don't do that.
If Ashley has $100,000, I got $100,000, or I have a way to get it. My credit's good, her credit's good. Let's buy a building together.
I was just about to say that.
Exactly.
I was just about to say that.
Why
I would definitely do that with a friend. Be like, hey, this is our goal for like, let's say for 5 years. We want to have a goal where we could do 100,000, where maybe the other like 50,000 will be a loan, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that will be it, a loan. But I can accumulate 50,000 and then a loan or whatever. We come together, get a small building, and then with that collateral, you can get something else. You see what I'm saying? I was thinking the same way. I was just like, I would love to do that with somebody. Like, and it also teaches you accountability because you start watching your own spending habits and you start noticing that like, okay, I can still do my passions, my dreams, and also let you know like other gifts that you might have. Some people really have gifts, especially you have a really good gift of saving and financial information and retaining that and receiving it. Because some people be like, what's this crypto, and they just can't get it. That's what I'm saying. You never know. Talk to your friends because some people have gifts and understanding things and it doesn't overwhelm them.
Yep.
I think that's the main thing.
Right.
Talk to your friends.
And find out where they can fit into your life in financial gain. I want to say also too that I do know that buying land is the biggest asset you can have. So what they tell you is you can even find out free information where people, like where the big things are going into cities, like where the Starbucks going and where they planning on putting, those things. Those are the next up and coming places. So you want to buy some land in that area.
Yep.
Buy the land and then you can sell it for 2 or 3 or 4 times the amount that you spent on it.
Honey.
The stock market is a little more volatile, but land, you're always land is land. Always.
And it can be random land, like how Amazon and all of them be buying random stuff. Right. It can be random things, like in Las Vegas. Like it can be random things. Like I feel like whatever is, especially in the South, where it has a lot of land. I'm just like, if it's cheap, buy it. Just go ahead and buy it and hold on to it. Yep. I'm learning that take chances because you never know. Right. Just don't know.
You take chances, but you also have to do the research and make sure that it's going to, it possibly can do something for you. So you take you're right. You take the chance. Yep. You take the chance and do it. instead of taking the
definitely.
safe route.
I mean, definitely. I mean, hey guys, don't just up
don't just be going out buying up some land.
Yeah,
somewhere.
talking about I'm buying some Florida land near a swamp. We ain't talking about up in definitely do your research. Like definitely do like your research. Yeah.
Yep. Unless, that's an idea too. Unless you have something planned for that swamp, unless you have a business or something that has to do with the swamp, then you can buy several plots of land around it and build those up. And then
that's true. Yeah. So, yeah. But definitely do your research. But you're right. I'm with you. Like I'm about like you can have a blueprint and you can think, don't overthink, but they bothly are hand in hand with each other.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We're not trying to be like, take food out of baby mouths,
right?
But definitely be smart. And I'm learning myself, like, be smart. Yeah.
So how's the week been for you, Ashley? What's going on?
Oh my gosh.
We got so heated, we jumped right into the conversation, but we got to do a check-in.
Well, you know what it is? Every time we're on the phone, we start that off.
Right.
We always like, that's how me and Marcos are, guys. But just
right.
like, I think what's new with me is I started a new workout regimen because I started noticing that like I'm getting out of my consistency because I'm noticing that like I'm just getting tired, but I'm also getting tired because I really have bad allergies. So I've been taking more medicine. So more medicine means like sometimes you feel groggy and I have to take 2 different medicines because I noticed they work together hand in hand. And now I'm working on a script. So I'm getting back into writing. So
yes, good.
Yeah, I mean, because I took off, don't get me wrong, like I do believe you're still writing in your mind and thinking of things. Because I do have to, I'm one of those people like I have to dream it. I have to keep pondering on it and letting it marinate and things like, because when I touch the computer, that's when the script's ready to write. You know what I mean? Like I don't touch the computer unless it's ready to write. So I've been dabbling in things. And I just been working on this thing and I'm trying to get better at, and I'm working on it, is that the things that I want to do, sometimes I want to do too many things. Like I want to go on vacation. I'm thinking about getting a new apartment. You know what I mean? It's all those things. But what I'm noticing about Ashley, she has very expensive taste. It's very expensive taste, honey. So, I'm just like, I'm trying to figure out how to have everything that I want without having the scarcity mindset, because the things that I want, they're not that expensive. But like I said, we live in New York City.
Right. Hold on, Ashley, I'm going to pause you for a minute because
yes.
I think we started this off with our conversation, but we actually were supposed to start this taping a little bit later. So guess who's joining us for the rest of the conversation?
Yay!
So everybody watching, Ashley and I just started talking, and we were a little bit early for what we were doing. So in now coming is Liz. So we're gonna hang on for 1 second.
Remember, she comes in the superstar.
That's right.
Hey guys, welcome to OneMicNite Talk, the podcast, where we bring you real things, real issues. But we do have to do one thing. We need you guys' help to figure out what our tagline would be. So, introduce to my co-hosts, we have Liz, we have Marcos, and what's up, guys? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going on, guys? How you been? How you doing? How you living?
Oh, I'm parched. I'm thirsty. It's hot in New York City.
It's hot. New York is hot this week,
Yeah.
right?
It's hot. I don't like that though.
What's the degrees right now? What's it, like 80?
Yeah, it feels like it.
I don't
Let me
like
see what
that
it
though.
says.
And then it gets like
Oh, it's 66. It's gonna get warmer. Yeah, it's
It's like
66.
sticky and you're in between buildings and it's like
Yeah. So what's new? What's going on with everybody? Everybody's busy. Everybody's booked and busy. What's going on?
I had explosions in my house yesterday. I'm okay. It was just pipes, explosions, dirty
Oh my
water, cleaning, men working. No, not cute men working, but men working.
I was just about to say, did you get a date at least?
Yeah.
Negative. That's not going to be part of my hot girl summer. No.
I feel like the people who fix the pipes are always like somebody's dad.
Somebody's
You
there.
be
Yeah.
like, wah, wah.
With the plumber's crack.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I will say this, which is weird. The doormen now in New York City are looking kind of hot.
Really?
Like,
Let me find out. Let
going
me find out
on.
you going around New York City checking doormen.
I'm in the Upper West Side, so you know how you just be walking, mind your
Oh,
business.
yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm,
Oh,
mm-hmm.
Hey.
I just was, and then I caught one doorman, and then I was like, he's young, like young, like maybe 30s.
Probably like a summer job.
No, I don't think so. Like,
He's like,
and then I went on the
doorman.
street walking. I kept walking down. It was like 5 doormen that were like kind of young. I was like, yum yum.
You were like, okay, all
I
right.
had romance once with the doorman. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, doormen make good money in New York City. I don't know
The
about any
tips and
other
everything,
place.
they get tipped. And look
Yeah,
at Marcos.
they
Marcos
make-
like, what?
Uh-huh.
They
No, I mean, no, I'm
do.
saying, what I was going to say is that I think that it's probably the energy of spring and the good weather. And you know how people just sort of come out in the spring and summer when the weather's
is that
nice,
what's going on?
right? So I
you
think
ever,
everybody's just kind of going a little buck wild right
Oh,
now.
you ever had that situation though, where you decide that one day to go to your house looking a mess, right? Like you're like, I don't care. I rolled out of bed. I gotta get milk or I gotta get whatever. Let me just go out. I put on a little busted jogging suit, and lo and behold, you meet your fine ass neighbor,
See? Yep.
which is new to your building, and you look like
You just have
Like
to prepare.
crap.
The next time you come out, he'll be like,
nah,
you're
but
like,
they already have that image of you. It's like,
yeah, but they
really?
can fix the image once they see like, oh, okay, she had a bad day, or that's what she looks like when she's just going out the house to get something.
Yes.
no.
It can change. I'm saying for me, it would change if I saw a cute guy out my building and he looked like busted. I was like, oh, he's first off. I think anybody who looks kind of busted, I think the first thing I think about, oh, they're not going anywhere far. That's what I always think. Like they're not going somewhere
You're
far.
kind.
Yeah, because I think about at the end of the day, like because I just
Okay.
no, because if you look at some people's like features of their face, or if you like with you, right? I don't really think you look busted. I think because you know what you look like, you're like, that's busted. Because think about when you work out or you're sweaty or dirty, and someone's like, oh my gosh, you look so, they look at you and you be like, I look sweaty and dirty, but to the other person, you look hot. You see what I'm saying? I think we're much harsher on ourselves than what other people see.
Always.
I agree.
Always.
This is true.
Yeah.
Like I'm
is
looking a
true.
little busted today. I know that.
And you don't at all.
No,
You
but
look
you
very
don't.
refreshed
I look
today.
You
busted.
don't. Actually, no.
Listen, I had a hard couple of days. You guys know I've been hosting the Harlem International Film Festival, right?
Yeah.
Yes. How's
Yeah.
that going?
It's going well. I mean, so we had the 3 days live. So I hosted all those events and moderated the panels of people, filmmakers and special guests. So then we switched to a virtual edition. So the virtual edition, we have talkbacks. The films that are screening, we have talkbacks with the filmmaker also. So I've had to do sort of all the brunt work of it all. So I've had to organize the interviews, so that's emails back and forth, and then actually have the interviews, schedule the interviews with either a filmmaker or their team of film production, their cast and crew, which requires you to watch all the films, and then have questions for everybody who's associated with the film. It's been a lot of work for me in the last couple of days.
Well, what have
That
you
is a lot.
learned?
What have I learned?
I'm sorry, Ashley.
No, I've learned a lot. I mean, not only just hosting, but the information and the topics of the films. First of all, being able to discuss films with other filmmakers and actors and sound people, composers. I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven with that.
Yeah.
But just learning the topics, like a lot of the topics had to do with unity, equality, Black Lives Matter. One film was about New Orleans and the history of New Orleans and how it's the most African-based city in the US and why. It gave the history, all these things that I didn't learn. So it opened up dialogue. I opened up dialogue about how Black history is not American history, and it should be. And these are the things that I didn't learn in school.
Yeah.
You know? And why, people are how the government and propaganda, like it's just opened up so much conversation that needed to be had. And I feel exhilarated. I'm just tired because I had to do so many, but just to learn. And I think, Ashley, you and I have talked about this before, that 2022, my resolution was to learn as much as I can every day, learn something new. And I feel so happy that that's what I'm doing right now. Just talking to you two every day, and the people in the viewers typing stuff in the chat box.
Right.
You just keep learning and just being open, and I just feel so good in 2022.
So you're in a place of receiving. You're in a place of receiving them.
Receiving. And
I love
open.
that.
Yeah.
Receiving. Yeah. But it is a lot of energy when you are, even though it's like your desire and your passion that you're doing, it is a lot of energy with talking and thinking, and also being an active listener, but also different energies talking to different people, because you're talking to so many different personalities.
Right.
You know what
and
I mean?
Specifically with each group, you're talking about their body of work, and I'm taking myself out of it. I'm not a critic. I'm not a, I try to be just a lay person, a regular person watching a film, but interviewing them about how this film came, into production, and what do you want people to take away from, like, all these questions you have to formulate. But it's incredible. It's been incredible. And I really thank Harlem International Film Festival for giving me the opportunity, and everybody who's responded back after the interview saying that they appreciate it,
Oh, I love that.
You're getting positive feedback, which is good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're an excellent host, so, you got the soft tone. It's really nice.
Oh, thank you.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Opening up dialogue is always good,
Yeah, I love that.
Change. Yeah.
That's really good.
And you, Ashley, what have you been up to?
I'm like Marco's, the past 2 weeks have been really, really tiring, but I'm working on a script. I'm trying to finish that, write that out. I'm trying to just multitask a lot of things. And we're in Mercury retrograde right now. So that's a whole nother thing.
What does that mean? Because I try to figure that out. When people say, the Venus retrograde of the setting sun of the what does that mean?
I think we're in Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. I think it just means whatever sign that we're in. Well, retrograde means pretty much means, I believe it means learning, going through something. It just means we're going through something spiritual. And everybody feels whatever spiritual that may be. Depending on what sign that we're in the retrograde, that's what you will receive from it, or that's what you will feel. You know what I mean? So Scorpio right now, I believe we're feeling release. Things are coming up for us. That's usually a lot that comes in retrograde. Think about this. It just brings things a little off kilter. Sometimes it might help you, and sometimes it feels like it's going against you. So that's pretty much retrograde in a simplistic form of saying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What are the challenges you face as a screenwriter? What do you feel, as you're writing or you're working on a project, hinders you or helps you propel?
I think for me, I'm a screenwriter that I get a thought and I think about it and marinate it for a while. But once I dream it, I can write it. But I think the problem with me as a screenwriter sometimes is that it's not that I get bored with the script I'm writing. Sometimes you get a new idea, and that one sounds more fun to write than the one you're writing. You know what I mean? So you got to get out of the habit of, new idea. Let's work on something. Let's work on a new thing. And you have to get used to no, finish what you have in front of you and complete that. I think that's the main thing is stop trying to have instant gratification and always having something new to be I'm going to do that instead. And then you end up having uncompleted works.
A lot of uncompleted
you're
works.
always moving on to something else very quickly.
So what do? You write down notes about whatever ideas come to your mind, and you say,
Yeah,
okay, tuck that away for later.
What I do is I have like a journal for my scripts. Mm-hmm. So I used to keep a notebook with me, but then I discovered, I was like, where am I lose my notebook? Like, that would suck. So I put everything in my phone, and when I get home, I just transfer it into like my journal. And what I do is like, I just write, like, it could be like a dream that doesn't make any sense, abstract. But the way how it'll come, I'll be like, well, that could be a movie, okay? Because sometimes you have to let it marinate, because not every dream I have can be a movie per se. Because sometimes, movies cost money. So if it's too much things, you be like, oh, I can write the script, but I'm like, that's not going to get produced anytime soon.
That ain't gonna happen soon.
Yeah, so what I've been doing is like I'm relearning how to the scripts that I have in mind, or ideas I have in mind. I've just decided like, which are the ones that I could probably produce now, or the ones that are really big with a big budget. How can I write a short film for it in its manner, so then I can get it out there and then get it produced. So that's what I'm working on now. I'm working on a short film to become a feature, because I was going to write the full feature, but I was like, no, let me write the short film first, and then I'll write the feature after I finish the short film. So sometimes I have to do things out of order.
So, I mean, like Marcos, for you, right? Mm-hmm. You're an actor. What do you do to actually immerse yourself into a character? There has to be like some kind of, because why I ask is, an actor can't just go pick up a script and say, okay, I am this character. Like, what do you do to prepare yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think, there's it's what you call homework. Every actor does it. That's acting 101 is, characterization, and then you do the homework for the character, which means you study what that, animal, person, or whatever you're becoming is. You live in the environment. If it's a condition, you find out what the condition is. You learn all the medical, things that are associated with it, the hand movements, the gestures, the mouth. Wow.
It's a lot of work.
And you become it. It's a lot of work. It's homework. It's just like any other job. Like you're interviewing for a job, you learn about the company, right, first before you go into the interview, so you sound intelligent about the questions you ask. Right. It's the same thing. So, if you're doing a character like the one I'm doing coming up about PTSD, you sit down, you go to the firehouse, and you learn what firemen do for 9/11. You look at the memorial, you learn about PTSD, you internalize it, and it's hard for me to even, we're talking about the show that I have coming up called 20th Anniversary. It's hard for me to even go to rehearsal, because even acting the lines out, it takes me to a place that it's hard for me to shake afterwards. I can't even come out of that for a week. Wow. Because you're so immersed in being that character and having PTSD that, say for instance, like I go into it now, it's like build up so everything in your mind and your body and your movement, and then something triggers you just, you know what I mean? Like you have to go into this whole world that you create.
Wow. Just that little bit there. I'm like, okay, I saw the change, right? You saw that change happening.
It's a lot.
Wow, that's such
What's going on with the music, Liz? We want to know. We're waiting for this music. I told you I want to be a backup singer. Ashley wants to be a backup singer too. I'm gonna be back there.
Hey. What's going on? As both of you understand that our crafts require money. So it's
your phone, Marcos.
What's that?
So look at your phone for a second.
Everything requires money. And so because of that, it's a slower pace, but I'm in the midst of writing, right? And I haven't released music in like 5 years. So right now it's, what do I want my identity to musically be? Why? Because I dabble in so many different genres of music. So I'm trying to decide what is going to be my face now. Like what am I going to look like? Because I'm coming, in from another direction. I'm not the artist I used to be. because I'm not interested in being the artist I used to be. That had its moment in time.
Yes.
So now I want to be who I am now and honor who I am now through my music, through my craft.
It's time for reinvention.
It's time for reinvention.
All artists do it. You got to reinvent yourself.
It's time for reinvention.
Then I'm gonna fast forward you to this too. Once you get your work out there, we're gonna put you on the NFT circuit. And Ashley and I were talking about that.
Yeah.
That's where you own, you own your music, and then we have people invest in your music and you make money on it. That's the way that the world is going right now. Music artists have NFTs that go on the crypto blockchain and people invest in it and you make money. You have the ownership to it. They live in a virtual world with the music. They have access to it. So you do things like private screening, and only the people who have the NFT, that's how they buy the tickets to hear the music exclusively.
Ooh, I like that.
So we'll talk more about that. We're gonna get we're gonna get an expert on here to talk about artists and NFTs. Ashley, same thing with your scripts and your short films. Same thing with my work.
Okay.
And this is how we are going to move into the future in ownership with our work as artists.
This is good.
Okay.
Right. So we're gonna get an expert on to talk about OneMicNite talk and do that.
All right.
I hate to do this, but we have to end the talk right here, you guys. Yeah. And we want to thank you for joining us. This episode is a little bit skewed, but we talked about a lot of things. We're going to come back next week, and I have so much to say. Thank you for all of you who listened to the mental health awareness episode. You guys want to say anything about that? We appreciate it.
No, that was amazing. That was
amazing, much needed, and I hope that everyone took something away from that is useful in their life.
Absolutely. And we want to thank you guys for all joining us for this episode and look forward to the next one for us. Please make sure you drop down, subscribe, leave us a comment outside of the chat box. All the comments help. It also helps people to find us when they're searching for good talks to listen to. My name is Marcos Luis. You can find me at MarcosLuis on all social media. You can go to the .com and find out what I'm doing and what I have coming up next. DM me on Instagram. That's the best way to reach me. Ashley?
I'm Ashley Elizabeth Green. But like what I stated earlier, guys, we're trying to look for a tagline. So please put in the comments of what you think our tagline should be. And you can find me at Ashley Elizabeth Green on IG. Always check out my DMs.
I am Liz Menezes. Let's spell it out. Menezes.
Sorry. The only one that can say her name.
That's okay.
The only
Liz
one.
Menezes. LizMenezes. Music. Find me on all digital platforms. Listen. Purchase if you'd like. Let me know what you want to hear next because I'm working on some new songs. And please click the bell. Leave your comment. Subscribe. Spread the word.
We appreciate
OneMicNite Talk.
Thank you for joining us for OneMicNite Talk. Please use the hashtag OneMicNite Talk. We want to get the conversation going. We want to inspire you, and we hope we give you something valuable every week. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye, guys.